And to talk more on the impact the virus is having on the global markets and what are the outlook for the markets going ahead, we are joined by Peter Cardillo from Spartan Capital Securities. Good morning, Peter. This is Cheryl on the other side. If you look at how the 2020 has begun for us, definitely first off we had the US-Iran issue, and now you have the coronavirus that's taking a toll on the markets. How are the outlooks looking like for the commodity as well as equity markets based on this particular virus right now?
Well, there's no question that, since the numbers are going up, not only in China, obviously being locked down, but also other parts of the world. In fact, here in the States, I believe the third case was confirmed. And so this is probably going to impact the markets. Now, the markets are somewhat vulnerable because of them being at such high levels. But obviously the fear here is that if this virus should turn into an epidemic, not only in China, but perhaps even in other parts of the world, that it could take its toll on economic activity, especially in China. We all know that the country is basically locked down, and many enterprises have been shut down. And so this will have a negative impact in terms of economic activity, especially in China. So the only hope here is that that this virus can be contained and that it doesn't spread any further than it has. And I suspect that, if that would be the case, then it would just be, let's say, the sell-off could be attributed to an excuse. But there's no question that the initial reaction tomorrow here in the States is probably going to be on the negative side. Now, we have to also remember that many of the Asian markets are shut down for the Lunar New Year, and so perhaps the decline will be minimal. And also, we have to take into consideration that it's a very busy week in terms of macroeconomic news, the Federal Reserve meeting, and the key as to whether or not the market can continue to rally is the flow of earnings that's going to be begin increasing this week and over the next several weeks. So I just think for now it'll probably have some sort of a negative impact, but I don't think it's going to I don't think it's going to be a heavy decline, because there are other factors that can counter this virus news.
Peter, as we speak, I'm just reading, and there are 5 already cases confirmed in the United States. If you look at the crude markets, it's taking a huge hit. Goldman Sachs came out with a report last week saying that the virus could actually impact the crude prices by about $3, but they're already seeing that downward slide. How much of an impact can it have on the demand? While the Saudis are saying definitely it's a very limited impact, but if you look at the market's gauge, it definitely looks much more than that.
Yeah, there's no question. You have to remember that oil prices had turned weak, and they were already moving towards bearish territory, and that's due to other factors. Now, this scare that's coming, that's emanating from the virus, is certainly not helping. But the reason that the market had already weakened prior to this virus were twofold. One, a huge buildup in inventories, and I think that probably is going to begin to simmer down, because some of that may have been weather related, and so the those buildups in inventories are probably going to subside. And then, of course, the other factor was when we saw oil pop over that 62, 63 level on the Iranian-U.S. attack. That certainly gave oil prices a boost. But then when that subsided, we saw oil prices fall, and they got technically weak. And for the moment, oil is in a technical downward spiral. Now, the question is, do we break last year's 52-week lows? I don't think so. We'll probably approach them, but I doubt that we go much below that, unless this virus situation becomes a real factor for the global economy.
Well, thanks so much for joining in with us, Peter. Thanks for all those insights. And China being the backbone of the global economy, it's definitely going to take a hit on the local markets as well, we suspect.